There was a net metering agreement up in Pennsylvania. Lester wanted me to ask you a question about, but I'll ask it after this. Just wanted to let you know I had a question.
Oh, there we go. I just got to watch what you just said on YouTube.
Nice.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it is kind of fun going back and looking. I don't know why we keep getting bombarded with horrible things.
Yeah, I believe it's like 2 minutes behind, or like maybe like 70 seconds or something like that, based on
Really?
what I just saw pop up.
Huh.
Yeah, which is not bad. That's pretty.
No.
It's not 100% live,
But it's live.
but it's live. All right, let's see here. Share the screen.
Here, do you want to make me a co-host so I can change people's names as you're going through this?
Yeah, that sounds good. Let me see here. Luke Moore, make co-host. Make co-host.
6 people entered the waiting room. Cool. I don't know the best way to go over like everybody's savings that we did. I think when Lester tries to flip it to me, sometimes it can be.
Yeah, I can handle it.
Yeah, just want to see how you do it.
Might not even need to do it, depending on. But yeah, I think there could be some value in there. I didn't see the offset numbers, which are kind of more, letting people. It's cool to say 100%, 100%, 102%, 103%, but we'll have to just add that in there. I think it's worth it.
I'll go add their offsets real quick for the people that show up.
Cool. Yeah, thanks for doing that.
Yep. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna let these people in.
I just admitted all. Yeah. Everybody's connecting to audio.
Cool.
Welcome, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Thanks for coming. We'll get started in about 74 seconds. Thanks for being on time. Wonderful. If there is one magical thing that came from COVID-19, it taught the world how to use Zoom. So glad everybody could virtually connect today. So if you do have the option to be on a on a laptop instead of a phone, we have another 45 seconds before we're going to get started. It's nice to see some of the stuff that we show, because there's some visual things. So just giving you guys the option, if you're near your computer, to hop on. And cool, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We like to get started on time out of respect for all the folks who showed up on time. So happy Wednesday. We're going to start with introductions. Maybe you guys have never been to a solar exploration experience. And so just to let you guys know what you're up for, you get to have a fun introduction. So we're going to introduce ourselves like humans today. And Team Ovanova is up on the screen right now. If you see dinosaurs and 4 humans, then you're looking at the right thing. Is there anybody who cannot see dinosaurs and 4 humans? Luke, is my audio working?
Yep, I
Okay, I see
agree.
it. I see a thumbs up. Cool. Thanks, Katie. That's the best thing is feedback. So thank you so much. So I'm John Carey. I'm one of the founders of Ovanova. My partner Lester is in the mountains of North Carolina with some friends tonight. So you guys are missing out on a treat. He's the normal MC for the evening events. Luke's over there. He's on the meeting with us. He's actually one of the two folks, Luke and Holly over here, who prepared those custom solar designs that you guys got emailed over the last day or so. So thanks to Luke and Holly for sending everybody a free solar design and doing the work to put those together. So anyway, we're going to go through and we're just going to do some popcorn. The person who introduces themselves next gets to pick the next person. So here's how the introductions are going to go. This is going to be an experience we create together. So feel free to have fun. Nobody's, this could be as fun as we decide to make it, guys. But start with your name, where you were at in the world, and the organization you came to support. So who you came here to raise to generate the donation for. And then I don't know what Lester usually does with this thing, Luke. What's this photo for?
That's the first time I've seen it. I think he's trying to get people to do some math, but
Okay. Well, I know the answer, 5 cm, 5 centimeters, but so after name, location, who you came to support, just why you guys think more people aren't using solar energy. So I'm John Carey. I'm in Hillsborough, North Carolina, like near Raleigh and Durham and Chapel Hill. I'm a member of Team Ovanova, so I came here to support all the organizations that you are here to support. And I don't know why more people aren't using solar. That's why we started this whole thing. So I'll let's see here. Since Katie gave me some feedback earlier, I'm going to pick Katie next.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Katie. Location is Miami. I don't know if you want me to get more specific, but I'm in Miami, the Coral Gables area, and I'm supporting Sobe Academy. And why aren't people using solar energy? I think because lack of education. I don't think people know enough about it.
Cool. I'm going to.
Katie, we think you're right. 100%.
Yeah, I think there's not enough education out there, and people, I think that's a main reason. But
Yeah. So that's actually why we do it. But yeah. So who would you like to go next, Katie?
I don't know, Chris Abanto. It's the next person on that I see. So I'm just gonna go in order. I don't know anybody here.
Hi, I'm Colleen. I don't know how to get into my Zoom, so I logged into my kids. And doing this for Somerset Middle School in Miami. And my reason would be that I think solar panels are like way too expensive. And it's just not affordable for people to do that. The only other person I see, sorry, Carmine would be my pick.
All right, Carmen Alfano, and I'm in Tampa, Florida. I'm a principal supporting Summerfield Elementary School. I think a lot of it's just the front end cost of getting the solar. I think people are getting educated to the benefits and the cost saving over the long run. So, once you finance, and especially with the low interest rates right now, it is doable to run it over many years on your, into your mortgage. So I'm excited to be here, and I'm going to go to Manzan Aguirre, it looks like.
Hi there, I'm Damaris. I am in Miami, Florida. I'm supporting Sobe. And I actually do have solar. We do use solar energy for our pool heater, but that's because it came with the house. So I do think that lack of education, lack of ability to finance definitely affect us. So it has its effectiveness, but it has limits because of accessibility to it, I think. But we do love our solar heater for our pool. It's amazing.
Nice to have a warm pool.
Yeah.
Would you mind just going into any more depth about the limits, just so we know what you mean by that. Thanks for sharing, by the way.
Oh, thanks. So I think financial is a huge thing. And truly, if it wasn't that I had a solar pool, then I really wouldn't have much info about how it benefits us. I'm not, let's see, hold on, my husband's coming over here.
Oh, cool.
Hey guys, sorry. Hello, I don't even know where I'm looking at.
Thanks for coming.
I'm a trade.
All of us.
Cool.
This is a community source conversation.
No, absolutely. No, we do appreciate the solar panels. I think it works fantastic, especially in South Florida. You know, especially obviously in the summer months and spring and into the fall. So for a good 7-8 months, it does help. Keeping a big body of water like our pool warm and enjoyable that we can actually control it. Where there's been times that we increase it too much, and it kind of feels like your bowl of soup. So we know it works. So we're very hard. But at least, again, for our limited knowledge about it,
right.
We know that there's a certain capacity of what it could actually do for what we have it for. So if we wanted to do cannonballs for New Year's,
we can't.
It's not really going to work because the temperature in South Florida is not going to allow it for the pool to reach that certain temperature. It's not going to generate as much heat as whether it be electric or gas, and that's also that we're a gas home. So that's why there's just some limitations. That's why that's the word I would use for it. So that's all. Not harping on it. We like it. It's great for 8 months out of the year.
You can't you can't say anything bad. That's what this is for. We want people to bring up things like, I think more people aren't going solar because there's high winds and hurricanes that could blow them away. Things like that. This is the kind of stuff that really stops folks from really understanding the value of solar energy. And just to be clear, solar thermal, which is what Damaris and her husband have, that's actually where you use sunshine to heat up water. Solar PV photovoltaics is where you actually use sunshine to generate electricity, which you could then use to heat water if you wanted to. So, whereas Damaris's solar thermal panels, they don't generate electricity. They wouldn't keep her lights on, and they do rely on the heat of the sun. Whereas solar panels do not run off the heat of the sun. They run off the light of the sun, and they actually get less efficient. For if it gets hotter than 77 degrees outside, solar panels get a little bit less efficient. So your panels will actually make more electricity on a 20-degree clear day than they will on a 100-degree clear day. So just a fun fact about solar panels. So great, like you guys said, there's tons to learn. Thank you guys for being here, contributing, and there's no such thing as a wrong thing to say. So Damaris, who goes next?
Let me check participants. Colleen Abanto.
I already went.
Oh, just kidding. Let's see. Gabriela Querejeta.
Wow, you did a good job in saying my last name. Thank you. My name is Gabby Querejeta. I'm from Miami as well, supporting Sobe Elementary. And I have to agree with everybody on the education. I myself am not really educated when it comes to the use of solar power. And I also just have to think it has to do with what people are most accustomed to. Most families are run by regular old electricity, and that's what we're used to.
Cool, thank you. Yes, it's out of the ordinary, huh?
Yes.
Well, who gets to go next, Gabriela?
Has Terry Hidalgo gone yet?
No, I'm here.
Okay. All right.
Hi. I'm also from Miami, Florida, and I'm also supporting Sobe. And I think it's a combination of both lack of education, and I think the cost, that it would be too expensive to do.
Cool. Thank you for contributing. Any see anybody else up here? There's a few more that we have not called on.
Ophelia Alvarez, did she do it?
I don't think so. Good. Ophelia, are you with us? if you guys would, if you don't have your camera on, one of the main reasons that we ask is because it's great to see people's faces, right? It's cool to be able to like see people smile when you say something. But also we'd like to know that folks aren't driving and that they're actually an adult. We have had lots of organizations use our service and they'll have the kids register and show up, and it's cool, but we like talking to the parents. So it'd be cool if if that's our only requirements for this fundraiser for each of you to generate a $50 donation for the organization you came to support is to show up with your camera on and introduce yourself. You don't even have to hang out for the solar conversation once introductions are done. Now, we'd love it if you do, because we actually prepared this for you guys. We wanted to make the coolest, most fun fundraiser where you can actually become educated on something a lot of people are interested in a way that's friendly and useful for you guys. Everybody on this call is going to buy electricity for the rest of their lives. Like, none of us are going to stop using a refrigerator. So there's a way to make it from sunshine, and a lot of us just have some questions surrounding that. So who gets to go next? It seems like Ophelia is not able to answer at this time.
What about Laura Smith?
Laura.
Hey there. What, am I supposed to say why I don't have it yet?
Oh no, here you go. It is name, where you're at, who you came to support, and why you think more people aren't using solar.
I live in Sun City, Florida, and I'm with Summerfield Elementary. And I haven't had the opportunity to get information about solar yet. I just bought my house last month, so.
Cool. Oh.
Congrats on the new house.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Who gets to go next, Laura?
I came in a few minutes late, so I don't know who's gone yet. So you pick.
I see an MC that's here with us.
Okay, that's me. Can you see me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, my name is actually Maria Cristina. That's the MC. Barros. I'm in Miami supporting Sobe, and I'm particularly thrilled to see my very, very dear Damaris and VJ on this conference. Haven't seen you guys in a year. This is great. So thank you. I'm thrilled.
I'm here. Hi.
Hi. I don't know regarding, the whys or the why nots of solar in my particular case, probably all the same reasons that have been discussed up to now. I live in Coconut Grove, which is a particularly difficult area in some ways. It's beautiful in the sense that there is so many trees and it's a lot of vegetation, very deep vegetation. And not that many people in my area, I think, perhaps under new construction, but you don't see solar that much in our particular neighborhoods. So I think cost is definitely, and in my particular house, the peacocks would probably destroy the solar panels. So that could be an issue.
Nice. I have not heard that one before.
Oh, trust me, if they were on your roof, you would know.
Okay. We had a crow on our roof all the time, making lots of noise, and the internet told me to put a dead crow on the roof.
Yikes.
So we got like a fake dead crow, and we have not had angry crows pecking at the roof, making a lot of noise since then. I don't know if a peacock laying on its side would be helpful, but
no. Thank you.
Well, thank you for being here, Maria. Let's see here. I think there. I saw somebody show up, but I think they have left. Is there anyone else that's here with us that has not introduced themselves?
Yes, me. Hello?
Oh, another Maria. Hi.
Yes, there you go. Hi. Can you
Wonderful.
see me?
We can, I think the camera's facing away from you. We see a beautiful parking deck.
Okay, I don't know how to turn it around. I'm sorry. I've this stuff.
If you look at your screen in the bottom right, it should have a little reverse arrow by the camera. Maybe you just touch it one time, it'll flip it around, or you can turn your phone around. There you go. Nice.
There?
Well done.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Hi. I'm here in Miami. I'm out at a shopping mall. I was running to get home to do on this, but I was caught here in the parking lot. But anyways, I'm doing this for my grandson, Samuel, and he is in Somerset here in Miami. And again, I have a house and I'm very interested in learning about this.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for being here and for not being in transit and enjoying this. It looks like you got nice weather for hanging out outside.
Oh, yes. Very nice. Yes.
I see one last person, Vivian. Vivian, have you gone yet? I think you're muted. Let me ask to unmute you. There we go. See if maybe if you hit the unmute button, it should have popped up.
Okay.
There we go.
There? Okay. My name is Vivian Hernandez. I'm in Miami also, and I'm supporting my grandchildren that go to Somerset Academy Bay Charter School. And I think the solar panel are very good. We're thinking in moving, so we're not thinking about, putting it now. But I think they're great.
Awesome. Well, thank all of you guys for being here. This is it out of all the fundraisers that could happen, right? Buying candy bars and selling candy bars and washing vehicles and bake sales. And there's a lot of ways to raise funds. And we thought, what if we could make a really, really easy one for people that helped raise a lot of resources for wonderful community organizations like Sobe and Somerset, and actually provide some useful information that would help people actually ascertain even more value. And that's what this fundraising experience is supposed to be about. So just to be clear, thank you guys for contributing to this conversation. If you guys are here, you turned on your camera and introduced yourself, $50 is going to that organization you came here to support. So if you see a cat, we're done with that. So the fundraising portion of this is over. Okay. Again, the rest of this is just to address some of the stuff that you guys have brought up. And it's really a fun and interesting conversation. I just wanted to let you guys know, if you didn't get an email earlier today with your solar design showing your house, we're training new teammates, and sometimes we build a design on your neighbor's house. So if it's not yours, let us know. Just know that it's super customizable, and all of the numbers that we came up with came from your guess about how much electricity you use each month. It makes sense that how much your solar will cost you is based on how many solar panels you need, and how many solar panels you need is based on how much electricity you need to produce. So this is just a quick guess to show you guys what it could look like. And it looks like most people on this call wouldn't actually spend more money, but actually would save money by going solar. And Carmine, is it Carmine? Is that how you say it? Carmine. Okay, thank you. Yeah, and Carmine mentioned that a lot of people are learning and being accustomed to solar saving money long term, right? A lot of times people just aren't aware that it can happen day one and how that would look. And so if it's okay with you guys, because there was, let's see here, it looks like about half of the people that registered for this actually showed up. So as a gift to the people who actually showed up, we're going to send you guys tomorrow what's called open book pricing. And what that is, I'll give you guys a quick example, is it's actually taking that solar design we created and breaking it up for you and showing you exactly where all the money goes, how much the panels cost, how much the inverters cost that turn the electricity that the panels make into the electricity your refrigerator uses, how much the mounting hardware costs to make sure it won't blow away in a hurricane, how much the shipping is, how much we earn, how much the people that get on your roof and actually put the panels up and do the electrical work get paid, how much it costs to interconnect you, all that stuff. You're going to get to see all of the details, even what battery options are available and how much they cost. Okay. So because you guys showed up, that's going to be in your email tomorrow. So if you don't see these things, please let us know. Most of the time, it's just in your spam box. But again, thank you guys for showing up. This is going to be a super fun conversation. No wrong questions. And if it's okay with you guys, I would absolutely love to start with a little bit of education surrounding the financial part, just because it seems like that's probably the biggest misunderstanding that we found doing this for the last 6.5 years. So let me just ask you guys, this is what Carmine was talking about earlier, about how over the long run, this is a 25-year snapshot. Solar saves people money, right? It costs people like half as much to get your electricity from solar panels in a 25-year snapshot as it does to pay the utility company. But what about today? So is there anybody here who went recently and got an iPhone or some sort of smartphone at a store and didn't pay anything up front for the phone, and they just handed it to them and they let you pay it off month by month? Did anybody ever experience that before? Okay, Damaris did. I saw Carmine nod his head. I think Katie. So that's how I got my iPhone. It's like $1,000 phone that I was able to just walk out of a store with an agreement to pay $32 a month. So would it be too challenging to believe that that's how solar works, where you can have your solar panels installed, activated, and turned on for nothing up front? Like, you don't write a check, you don't exchange any money, just like with the iPhone. And then you pay it month at a time. And let me ask you this, what do solar panels do? Who here knows what solar panels do? Like the super simple thing that they do. What do they generate? You guys know this one. Carmine's at electricity. Thank you. So they generate electricity. So, like, really simply put, if you are generating electricity at your house, then who do you not need to pay for electricity anymore?
Like utilities.
The utility company.
Yeah. So if you have chickens that lay eggs in your yard, you don't have to buy eggs from the grocery store. Cool, right? You got to feed the chickens, just like you have to pay your solar payment, but you don't have to pay the utility company. So I just want to be clear. People go solar. My wife and I did this at our farm and at our home, where we didn't pay a single thing down. We had it all set up. And then we took the money that we were paying our utility company and we applied that to paying our solar payment. Just like when you moved out of an apartment, I think it was Laura. She said that she hadn't had the opportunity to because she just got her house. Well, that means that I'm assuming that Laura was renting before she started paying a mortgage. So instead of picking up an extra bill when Laura got her home, she actually just took money she was paying for rent and put that towards a mortgage. So I just wanted to make it real clear. A lot of people think that solar is expensive, and it actually is costing most people in our country money to not use solar energy. And I'll give you an example of that really quickly. So this is a person down in Florida. They can generate 100% of their electricity from sunshine. So they were paying FP&L $127 a month. Sorry, this is Duke. This is not FP&L, because I can see that the price to stay connected to the power lines is $12. And FP&L is $8.32 a month. So this is $127 a month they were paying. We'll call this rent, right? It doesn't matter how many years you rent a house. You're never gonna get rid of your rent payment. Just like you could pay your electricity bill for the rest of your life and not be a single day closer to paying it off. So this is rent. And then the person said, you know what, I'm gonna go solar, and I'm gonna use a technology that uses free sunshine to generate that electricity, and I'm gonna pay for it over 21 years with zero down. You don't have to choose a 21-year loan. You can pay it off in cash right up front. 5 years, 15 years. You don't have to choose a 30-year mortgage for your house. You could choose a 15-year mortgage, right? You get to choose what you want your payment to be because you get to choose your term. But this person decided, I want to have a lower monthly payment so I can save how much money each month? Can anybody see the math on that? How much? So this person went solar, and instead of paying more money, they paid nothing down, and they're saving how many dollars each month?
37.
Yeah, thank you. Awesome. And just some quick numbers. And again, what I'm about to read you guys is based on what you told us your average electricity bill was. And most people are off by like $30 or something because their guess is not, they didn't look at their actual bills. They just made a guess. But so Vivian, it looks like you would save $28.36 if you use this methodology, which is zero down, and you would save $28 a month paying a mortgage to yourself rather than paying rent forever. Having an end date to your energy costs rather than a perpetual bill. Let's see here. Maria Barros, it looks like it would cost you $1.20 more each month to pay yourself to own solar equipment. So it's a little bit more expensive. You must have some shading or something. It looks like, so Ophelia was here. It would cost her 51 cents a month to go solar. Catherine, you would save $17.02 each month by paying yourself mortgage rather than paying rent. You guys own your houses. Why would you rent your electricity, right? Colleen, you'd save $82 a month. You have a large electricity bill, so you'll save more. The more you need, the more you save. Let's see here. Damaris, you would save $44.80 a month, paying zero out of pocket. Carmine, it looks like you'll save $4.42 a month, assuming that your numbers are accurate. So either way, just to let you guys know, that's one way that you guys could go solar. Now, does anybody have any questions at all about what we just talked about? Because this part is why we started Ova Nova, guys. Our mission is to add as much value as possible to as many lives as possible. That's why we designed this the way we did. An easy fundraiser, a great educational experience, showing a technology that just really needs to be investigated by humanity. And so with this being said, if you guys knew that you were losing money paying the utility company to set pieces of your planet on fire to generate electricity when you could be paying yourself, generating electricity on site at your house, right? You guys know what happens the day after the hurricane, right? The sun comes back out. But how long does it take them to fix the power lines sometimes, right? You're relying on that electricity to be produced 100 and 200 miles away when you could generate it at your house from sunshine. So there's a lot of things going on here. Can you guys have any questions to kind of help? I'm just curious, is this really clear that there's ways to finance solar with nothing up front and save money right up front?
I have a question.
Yeah, of course.
So what if you decide 5 years down the line, let's say you do a 21-year finance, right? You said something about paying it off in the next 21 years, 15 years, 25 years. But what if you decide 5 years down the line that you're going to sell your house? What happens to that finance? How does that work? As far as the equipment's already set up, but yet you're still, explain that part, I guess.
Thank you for asking these questions, guys. Because I mean, I'm super grateful for the type of participation. Because think about how many people said way too expensive, not affordable financing, and all the ideas of being expensive. And now we found out that most people are losing money right now. And then on top of that, we think about selling our homes, right? I mean, there's some study that we saw where it's like 70% of homeowners plan on moving in the near future. And obviously that's not true, but everybody's like always thinking maybe we're going to move next year. So But what do you guys, have you guys ever known anybody to go to sell their house and like put new floors in or remodel the kitchen or paint the house? Do any type of upgrades to the home? Why did they do that?
I guess I'll just say, yeah, to increase the value of the home.
Yeah, right. Because if they might spend $8,000 putting new floors in, but they might sell the house for $15,000 or $20,000 more because of the appeal, right? So, what do you think what do you think happens to the value of your property if you have a miniature power plant on it? Significantly. You don't have to take my word for anything that's said here tonight. We live in one of the best times to be alive, and you can Google all of this stuff. But there are many studies about solar energy and real estate, and the numbers for all the studies don't match, but they all say the same exact thing, which is the value of your home will go up and your house will sell faster. So Katie, here's how it would work. Let's say 5 years from now, you were going to sell your home and you had a $20,000 solar array that you had paid, let's say $5,000 on. So you owed 15 grand, right? And you're going to sell the house. Well, then what you would do is you would sell the house for $15,000 to $25,000 or $35,000 more than you would have if you wouldn't have gone solar. And then you would just pay off the remainder of that solar loan, just like if you owed 50% of your mortgage still, like if your house was only halfway paid off. Whenever you sell your house, all you do is take the money from the sale and pay the house off the rest of the way, right? You just basically, and that's exactly what you would do with your solar payment, or that's what you would do if you financed a pool, is you would sell the house and you just pay off whatever you owed on that thing. But the beautiful thing is you wouldn't lose the money in your investment, because your value of your home would go up. And if you purchased your solar through Ovinova, then it would go up more than the cost of the solar itself. And the reason I say if you bought it through Ovinova is just because we have a unique way of doing business. We don't have salespeople. So there's nobody that would knock on your door at any point in time. There's no sales commissions to pay out. That's a massive part of the cost of people going solar. We don't mark up equipment at all. You guys will see in your open book pricing and the battery pricing, all of it, the panels, the inverters, it's a pass-through cost to you guys. None of the equipment is marked up. We don't mark up labor. Matter of fact, we don't even really work with solar companies to do the installs, because solar companies just hire electricians to wire the panels and roofers to install them. And so we hire electricians and roofers that are licensed, bonded, and insured directly. And we don't mark up that cost either. So what you'll find, and one of the reasons why, if you guys can see my screen, we had to start sending out what we call our open book pricing, is so you guys can see you're still getting 25-year warranties. You're still getting tier 1 equipment. You're still getting licensed and bonded electrical contractors. You're just not paying all the soft costs like the advertising on Facebook and sales commissions and marked up panels. We are truly about making sure that folks are educated on solar and have no excuse not to use free sunshine to generate their electricity. So thank you for asking that question. Katie, was that helpful as far as if you were to sell your house, how that would work? Okay, so now it's kind of even crazier, right? We just looked at this and we're like, so what you're saying is, and guys, I would love it if everybody would play this game. I can't see if everybody's going to do it, but if you take your number, this is your mind, right? If you'll take your number that you guessed for your monthly electricity bill, just if you have a phone or a calculator and you type it in, right? So for me and my wife, it was $200 a month. And you multiply that times 12, that'll tell you in a year how much rent you're going to spend on electricity. That's $2,400 for me and Abby. And we're never going to get that money back. And we're literally paying our utility company to burn chipped up tires and coal to make our electricity. That's what we were doing with that $2,400. Now, if you multiply that times 25, which is how many years solar panels are warranted for. That's the guarantee. That's $60,000. So during the time that if I was under warranty on my solar panels, electricity rates didn't go up at all, we were going to give Duke Energy $60,000. Me and Abby were. So what is your number, Colleen? Oh, you're muted. Sorry. I'll ask to unmute you. That's a big smile. I know that. I think the bill is not a small one.
So I was trying to figure out where my calculator thing is on my phone. I haven't figured out my iPhone yet.
I can do it for you. What's your number? What's your monthly number?
I would say like, well, in the summer, it's usually like 500. Winter time is like 300. So I think I gave you 450 as like an average number.
So we'll do 450 times 12. So that's $5,400 a year. And then times 25 years is $135,000 that is just poof up in smoke, not a single day closer to being able to generate your own electricity or anything. Okay. And so this is where this number on the screen came from, this 38 grand. This is a person that was spending $127 a month. That's assuming that your utility company doesn't raise the electricity rates over 25 years, right? That's like what doesn't go up in cost over 25 years. So your solar panels, let me just check on Colleen, just so you know, because we did you, unless Luke's faster than me and can tell me, but otherwise. So you're like just, so it's after, I'm gonna give you like worst case scenario. This is even before your tax credit, which your tax credit you get back is $18,000. That's how much your federal tax credit would be, but it would only be $69,000. So you would own an entire solar array that produced, in this case, I believe it's 99% of the electricity you need. And I'm sure we could get it higher, but that's just what your initial design shows. For 69 grand, after the tax rebate, you'd actually be paying $51,000 for something that, and then own it for something where you're going to pay 135 grand if the rates of electricity don't go up. And you can finance that zero down and pay it off and save $82 a month. So I know that this all sounds too good to be true, guys, but do you think we've been to work with churches and schools for the last 6 years if we've been lying to people every day, all day? Like it's kind of like this. You guys recognize anything on this page right here? Like any of the stuff this dude has? Right? Yeah. All that stuff is in our iPhones now. Technology changes and it changes the world. It doesn't make sense. You won't catch anybody with this stuff anymore. Well, guess what? Now, this is how we're currently generating electricity. And now we can literally do all of that stuff inside of a solar panel. Does anybody know how long solar's been around? Just a guess, or a decade? The first solar panels were created in 1954, 67 years ago. This is important because the very first ones are still working to this day. So guys, this is something that is manufactured one time. It's made mostly of sand. It's installed one time and it runs off free sunshine. It has 0 moving parts. It doesn't need oil changes or lube jobs. You don't need to do a single thing to this piece of equipment. The standard warranty is 25 years, but the first ones are still working. So I'm going to just stop and just, go back to this page that we had over here and see if there's anything here that we haven't talked about that you guys want to explore deeper. But you guys are 100% correct. There's not enough education surrounding this. We're all working so hard so we can keep the lights on and put food on the table. And we don't even know that the sunshine can do that for us, right? And so thank you guys that's why we love what we do. It's because we get to talk to people like you guys all the time. You guys showed up tonight, not for yourselves, but to support Somerset and Sobey, right? Selflessly using your time to support something you guys care about. And as a bonus, you got connected with a solar organization that's not going to send a salesperson to your house, isn't going to charge you for a bunch of stuff that you don't need to be charged for, and is also making sure that we're not just trying to sell you some equipment that we have in a warehouse we need to get rid of. Literally, we can access any piece of equipment that you guys want. I mean, here's just a list of like 10 different types of solar panels. We chose a specific one for a specific reason. And most people trust that, hey, if these guys are, you know, running their business this way and communicating with people this way, they probably are making decisions that are in my best interest. But we're open to rationalizing and helping you understand why we made all these decisions in the first place. So you're right. That's what this is for. You're in the beginning of your solar exploration journey, and we're super grateful you're here. As far as way too expensive, guys, it's less expensive. And the most expensive thing about going solar is the time between when you learn that it's smarter to do and when you do it. If you guys are all like, John, sign me up now, right? It would still take 3 to 6 months to get it activated on your house. And so in Colleen's case, if it takes 3 months, she's talking about $1,500 more that she's trashing to the utility company that she could have invested in owning her own power. So, you know, again, don't have a sense of urgency because we want you to have one, because you know, every month that goes by is another month you could have been paying yourself for solar. As far as front end cost, you could pay cash. It's a super smart way to do it, but you don't have to. Solar thermal is different than photovoltaics. Gabriella, education, yes, education, cost, we've covered a lot of this. Selling my house, hopefully you guys know that if you're going to sell your house, it's a super smart thing to do. If you're thinking about redoing your floors, definitely think about installing solar. That's talk to a real estate agent. But shading, we can chat about that. We talked about thinking about moving, angry peacocks. We didn't really address that, but so let me open it up and see if you guys have anything that kind of came up for you that's not on the list. Talk to me, guys. Girls.
I have a question. Can those panels be put in a place that nobody sees them, like the back of the house?
Of course, you can actually, here, I'll show you guys some cool stuff. This is, so here's a solar pergola. This is actually a bifacial solar panel. It lets light, it lets light pass through the panel, which is kind of cool. So this is a technology that not only does the light go through it, it reflects off what's underneath and makes extra electricity on the backside. You could do a ground mounted system. These are like the old school panels that HIMS came to visit. These are the old school panels that people are used to, like the tic-tac-toe with the silver. We have never sold one of these, by the way. This is our panels that folks are buying are these all black. They look like skylights type of panels. So a lot of people really like the new look. They think it's beautiful. Here's a customer down there in Florida, got the all black panels. And a lot of people find out all sorts of unique things about solar. But if you wanted to hide them even more, you can take a picture of your roof, send it to SolarSkin, and they'll send you this really translucent film that actually blends them in with whatever roof substrate you have, which is kind of cool. So, but yeah, you could put them in the backyard. You can hide them. There's implications associated with that, Damaris. So there's, you notice how some parts of your house get more sun than others?
Yeah.
Well, some parts of your roof are going to see more sunshine than others, and also your yard. So if you decided to put them in a specific area, I'm not saying that it's going to impact it negatively until I look at it, but we have a software program that our designs we send you have a link, all of them. It's all throughout there. So anytime you guys want to chat with us, we love to help people learn about their solar. And you can click this little blue thing in your design anywhere, and it brings up a Calendly link. And you don't have to worry about trying to like schedule a time with us that's going to work for us, because our times are actually already in here. So you just basically go, you know what? Thursday's a good day for me. And wow, there's so much availability on Thursday. I guess like 6 p.m. means that me and Mr. Monzon Aguirre will be available. You click the thing, set up a time with us, and we can zoom in on your house and actually put panels in your backyard or wherever you want and show you what the implications of that are in regards to shade and things like that. So it has a lot to do with not just where you put them, but also the
I believe John froze. But what he was talking about, yeah. So John, you were talking about where you put the solar panels, and then yeah.
Yeah, I was just trying to help Damaris understand that she can totally put them wherever she wants, but where she puts them will determine how much electricity they produce, and that will determine the savings. So, but you can see this graph, this orange line. This is how much solar energy is being produced throughout the year. And in the summer, it makes sense that they would produce more because the sun is out for longer, right? There's more daylight hours. And it's also higher in the sky, and most people's roofs are kind of like this. So in the wintertime, when the sun's kind of hanging out down here, it's not going to be as direct of a ray. Whereas in the summertime, the sun's way up here and it's more direct. And so they're going to produce more electricity. But everybody on this call that I'm aware of, their utility company will actually buy the electricity that they produce during these months where they're producing more electricity than they're using. They'll actually pay you for that. Here's an example. Oh, this is my house, and it's showing, this is an app I have on my phone, and you would have one too, that shows you how much you're producing, how much you're selling back to the utility grid, how much you're using inside your house, your stats for the day. You can look at the month, the year. You can actually see the return on your investment as far as like how much you've produced so far and your investment return. So it's kind of a neat little thing. But what I was trying to show you, here we go, is this right here. So you can see that this person, at the end of the month, the utility company owed them $15. And then you guys ever had the electricity company owe you money? Has that ever happened? Colleen's like, man, that'd be great. So check it out. This is cool. Where is it at? So this was the first month they went solar. They made a payment. This is before they went solar of $113. And then the utility company owed them 15, and then owed them 41, and then owed them 24, and then they owed $1.43. And so the cool thing is that you get to actually use these credits even when you don't need them. So there's no requirement for a battery, because just like you guys saw here, this person's still connected to the utility company. See this $12 a month fixed rate? This is your contribution to the utility grid saying, hey, well, you know what? I'm going to pay $12 a month, so I always have just as reliable of electricity as I have always had. So you don't have to worry about running out of electricity on a cloudy, rainy day or after dark. You still have power lines attached to your home like you always have. So your electricity will be just as reliable as it has always been. Pretty cool. So does anybody here know why anyone would even choose to get a battery if you don't need a battery because you always have the power company?
Just scared.
Interesting.
What'd you say? They just be nervous. They wouldn't trust the system to work.
Oh, yeah, they're preppers or something.
Yeah.
Well, I have a battery, and maybe I'm a prepper, but the big reason is we have hurricanes and we live in the woods and trees fall on the power lines all the time. And so if this line is damaged, then the power would go out at my house. If I had solar panels and no battery, then even if it was sunny outside, I wouldn't have electricity. So let me repeat that. If I have solar panels and it's sunny outside, but the power is down on the utility lines, my power is also down. That's why people get a battery, because if you have a battery, then you can use the battery and your solar panel and have a microgrid in your house where you can keep the lights on. You'll be able to run off your solar panels during the day, store the extra electricity, and then run off your battery at night. And then the next day, the solar panels will recharge the battery during the day and run your house during the day. The reason that you cannot use your solar panels if the utility lines are broken is because what are people doing when the utility lines get broken? What are they hopefully doing to the lines? fixing them. Yeah, they're fixing them hopefully. And if you're an electricity producer and you are generating extra electricity, which is what will happen, and selling it back into the power lines, then it's dangerous for people trying to fix them because you'd be electrifying the lines. So there's safety equipment installed that says, hey, look, if there is no grid signal, we're going to discontinue working. Now, if you get a battery, then you actually open the circuit to the utility grid and you create a grid signal with your battery to trick your panels into going, it's safe to operate. And then you can operate your home in a closed loop. So either way, that's why people would get a battery, because they're saying, you know what, it's not important to me to just save money on electricity. I would also like to be able to be energy independent if the utility grid is not able to supply me electricity. And you actually have a quote, where you will tomorrow, at the bottom, you'll see a standard option tab, which is just like you currently have electricity. Your electricity will work if the power lines are working, and it won't if they don't. If they're not. And then there's a battery option, which will allow you to actually operate your home even when nobody else has electricity, like after a hurricane. So again, there's a ton to learn about, and I don't want to like melt your guys' brains, but I do want to let you know that we're a resource. You can talk to us, ask us a million questions, and you can even go solar with another solar company. We're just going to be grateful that you were exploring and that you supported your community organization. But anytime you have a question specific or now, you can go down on your design, click the link, pick a day, pick a time, and we'll Zoom with you and be as patient and as slow. And as you know, it's on your timeline. Y'all are ones paying your next electricity bill, not us, right? So any other questions that have come up, any other curiosities? Carmine, anything that just comes to mind after all that rambling I just did?
Well, no, I just put in the chat that it's like a backup generator, correct?
It's exactly like a backup generator, except for your generator needs to run on fuel. That's not sunshine. So if the power is out, like I grew up in Eastern North Carolina, and we had a crazy hurricane that put the power out for like 2 weeks where I grew up, and the gas stations didn't have power either. So we had one of those like little gas generators, but we couldn't get the gas to run it. And another thing about a motor is it's loud. 2, it has to start when you need it. It usually needs a battery to start it if it's not a pull start. So it's nice to be able to have a backup generator, Carmine, that runs off free sunshine and is quiet. You know, it gets filled up by something that's going to show up every single day, hopefully. I think we'll have bigger problems than not being able to keep our fridge cold if the sun doesn't decide to show up tomorrow. But you're exactly right. It's just like a generator. Good stuff. What else, guys?
Does your company handle all the permitting process?
All day, every day, Maria. That's like, ask Luke. That's our deal. The Miami area is no joke either. Have you ever pulled a permit in Miami?
That's why I'm asking, because it's pure hell. So
yeah, that's where it's nice. That's if you're looking at your open book pricing tomorrow, when you get it, you'll actually see a spot in your open book pricing. So you'll see what we earn for our fundraising service, which will actually show you how many more people get to use our fundraiser if you go solar. So like if you guys went solar, the average person supports another 25 or 30 donations and experiences just like this, which is pretty cool. But there's this project management amount in here that you'll see, and that's actually what we use, this project management amount. This is for making sure that your permits get pulled, that we get the best deals on your equipment. So reaching out to multiple distributors to make sure that you're getting great prices on your panels and your batteries, making sure that your power company is actually going to interconnect your production plant. You're going to be a power producer. And if the utility company doesn't check off and say, cool, we accept this on our utility grid, then it's not great. It's not a great deal. So handling all the ins and outs, working with the contractors that get hired, paying them. A lot of times people want to put a new roof on because they know that their panels are going to be working for like 50 years. And they know that they won't have to replace the roof under the panels, because the thing that wears out your roof is direct sunshine day after day after day. whereas your panels will not only protect your roof, but shade it. I'm sure you guys saw some of those photographs earlier where the solar panels are actually creating, you can see this air gap under here. Well, there is no sunshine baking down on those shingles under there. If you remove these panels 20 years from now, the shingles underneath these shingles would look brand new. And that's kind of, a lot of people actually have the majority, if not all of their roof space covered in panels, it's like having a hard hat. They're more resilient to hail and things like that than an actual roof is. And again, Google this stuff, but it's a cool time to be alive. We can make electricity from sunshine. But good question, Maria. What other kind of questions do you have? Well, hey, the last thing I want to do is have you guys not continue your solar exploration journey because I kept you guys for a long time. This fundraiser was over when you guys saw the cat, right? And your solar exploration journey could go on for as long or as short as you want. I'm going to leave you guys with this last slide, which is the process. So this is saying, hey, if you're thinking about going solar, here's what it would look like. You could be under an hour away to many years away from being done with the exploration part of this. And the reason I say under an hour, because the quote we gave you is based on a guess about your yearly energy usage. I highly doubt you guys hit it right on the head. And if you're going to go solar, we're going to want to be scientists about it. So you're just going to want to schedule one of those follow-ups with us where you actually have your last 12 months kilowatt hour usage so we can get it down to the exact amount of panels that you want. And you might want to say, you know what, John, we want a US made panel. No problem. We can talk. And that's what that hour is about. It's really just about figuring out, what do you want, a battery? Do you not want a battery? Do you want a solar pergola? Do you want a carport? Do you want to keep it on the roof and keep it simple? How do you want to pay for it? Do you want to pay cash? Do you want a 21-year loan? Do you want to pay it off in 12? That's that whole exploration part. Once you've figured out what you want, it's like 3 weeks to 4 months. We've seen 6 months. Miami's kind of crazy, like Maria said. But and that's just a process of taking a few photographs of your panel, the space around your panel, the space around the meter, your attic space. We need a copy of your homeowner's insurance declarations page so we know that if a hurricane ripped your panels off your roof, they will be engineered to stay on there, but hurricanes don't really care what engineering says. Sometimes they take houses off their foundation. So we want to make sure that your asset is covered properly, and then a copy of your last electricity bill. So that will kick off that process of being able to get your engineering done, get your permit pulled. The good news is, aside from like waiting for engineering and permits and interconnection, the actual install takes 1 to 3 days. And the vast majority of it is outside. So it's not like a kitchen remodel where you got people in and out of your house making a mess for weeks. This is a real quick, mostly outside installation. It's a lot of times it really surprises people how quickly it goes. So, and then at the end you get an Nova rebate. That's the last step. You'll see in your template, everything we gave you guys here is what's called the worst case scenario price. People love this. The numbers we give you, they will never be more than what we say, but it's most often, pretty much every single time we've done it so far, except for one, will be less. You can even see something called the Imperfect Information Fund. This job has $1,248 built into it just in case we find out that one of your rafters has termite damage or that your electrical panel can't hold the voltage and needs to be upgraded. So we built this in just in case. If we don't need it, you get it back. You can do whatever you want with it in the form of an Nova rebate when the job is done. So either way, but there's all sorts of good news here. We're radically transparent. We want to give everybody a great reason to embrace this seemingly new technology that's been around for 67 years. So again, thank you guys for being here. I'm going to hang out. I don't have another one of these until 8, but I don't hear any more questions. I just don't want you guys to think you'd be being rude if you got off. So
yeah. And
is there anything else that we can do to be helpful?
Well, so the open book pricing that John's been showing y'all, I'm actually sending that out right now. So just be on the lookout, check your spam, but it'll be there.
Thanks, Lou.
Yeah. Everybody else is leaving. was great talking.
Nice.
Great to meet all of y'all.
There we go.
Yeah, I just wanted to get that last. Just wanted to say that before everybody else hopped off.
No, I think it's super useful.
Yeah.
You can always say that much earlier if you notice people are getting off. Like I noticed some folks are getting off, so I just wanted to let you guys know I'm actually, while this is happening, sending out your open books. So keep an eye out for them.
Yeah, that's what I was doing when you froze. As I was making the open book, and then I kind of had an idea where you were, but I saw you unfroze right before I started talking, so I was just letting you do it.
Thanks for the insights. Appreciate the knowledge.
That was good.
Great presentation. Tomorrow. Get the report tomorrow. Nice. We'll call it a report. Just bought this house. Cool. Yeah. All right. Well, see you. Like, are you coming to the 8th?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. If I think Trey's coming too. So if you need some time with Emily or whatever, don't burn yourself out. You're working hard, dude.
Well, I got to make up for lackluster performance last week, so that's why.
They say that you can't catch up on sleep.
You can't, but yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna hop off and finish sending these out, but I'll talk to you. I'll probably be on the date. I'll be